go. They start to pick up speed, and the green flag, and we're off and racing. So very early in the race, our 3 leaders, we have a quick problem with car 21. George Antimo had a bit of a problem. So in front early on in the race is car 80, Doug Shackle, being hounded by Murray Hill. So they're going lap to lap here. The first lap, we have 2 leaders. Dropping out of the picture early was number 21, George D'Antimo. So it's 80, 747, 90. 80, 747, 90, 70, make that 37, and 37.
Here's where the real driving skill comes. These leaders are all caught up to the
a real good crowd here. And we have a problem in the infield, and cutting across the infield, car number 34, Daryl Cox. He took the short way around the track. He was cut off, and now things are underway again. Now it's very crowded. As soon as we pick up our leaders here, 80 is still leading. We're getting a little push there, a little bumpy going on between 29 and 52.
We will put up to 100 cars on this track if they show up for racing. Can you imagine there's 61 out there now? If we had 100, how productive it would be.
There's car 80. Car 80 is in front, but a lot of accidents going on. Keeping track of who is in front. 80 is in front still. Earlier in the first lap, it was 80, 747, 90, 37, and 31. I have a sneaking suspicion things have changed since then. We've got rear smoke coming out of car number 95, driven by Chuck Butcher. On the sidelines is Steve Cashmore as well, and also car 23, John Stokes. So very early, we lose a couple of vehicles in this race. Car 80, at the best that we can make out, and it's pretty crowded, folks, is still leading, driven by Doug Shackle.
Oh, right in front, here we go.
Here we go, a lot of mess here going on, and watch these guys. We're getting reverse action here with car 97 doing a little showboat. There you can see him going the wrong way. Chris Nielsen.
There he goes. How about that?
So Nielsen has straightened himself out, and now on the infield is car number 44, Raymond Craig. There's car number 44 getting back into the fray, if you will. Very crowded. Now the smoke, as you can tell, it's kind of hot on that track. These fellas are really going to feel the heat today.
I think Doug Shackle is still in the lead, though, Frank.
I think Doug Shackle's in the lead, too, but asked me to point him out at this very point, and I couldn't.
There he goes. Right
there he goes, right. He's along the rail, right in front of the start, and we've got a... So Shackle, the leader, avoids that mayhem that's going on, and it looks to me car 2, Jim Ramor, car 771, Steve Temersma, and car 91, Brian Reed, were involved in the mix-up. Now, car 771 is going to cause another problem as he tries to make his way into the infield. Steve Temersma. Everybody hits the brakes.
Yeah.
Well, we're here at Sunset Speedway for the 1988 Grand Slam Enduro Championship in Stroud, Ontario. The leader so far is car number 80, Doug Shackle. And Doug Shackle leads now after 25 laps. We're down to 10 laps to go now. now number 9 gets the black flag, which means get off the track.
That's right. He's just causing problems up there. He was leaking water all over the place.
So, out of the race, after having a good race, number 9, Bruno Mariani, is forced off the track by virtue of that black flag. Also off is the number 2 car, who was amongst our leaders, Jim Remor. Or make that Dave Sims again. One of them's driving it.
Did you say the number 2 car was off?
That's correct. So now that opens the whole field right up.
Really?
Now car 80, Doug Shakel, although he was off the track twice, he has constantly been passing cars throughout this race.
Yeah, there's no
while
doubt
being
there.
on the track.
Yeah, there's no doubt there that he's constantly passing, but it's hard to believe he can make up 10 or 12 laps. I can see him making up 5 or 7. But like I said, we have our own score down in the bleachers here on. We'll check that out.
How does that work there, Steve? You have a couple of drivers that you feel could win the race, so you put your own counters on them?
We put our own counters on all the top cars. And they're not sometimes they're not even our staff. We've got Scott Hasted and his crew here, and they volunteered to help out, so we've got them checking about 6 cars.
And does it appear at least that the questionable cars are amongst those 6 to 8 cars?
Your leaders are always questionable cars, especially in this type of racing. You've got to verify it.
We should be down to the very last few laps of this race. There are going to be a few extra laps tacked on. Those laps will come into play if and only if the tally is incorrect as it stands right now. So stay tuned. After this race is over, it won't be over. We'll be here for the whole thing. We'll find out for you, folks. We'll be sticking around. And now we're getting a signal from the flag bearer. He's going to ask on whether he should pull out the white flag or the black flag or a combination thereof. There's car number 37. We have him as one of the leaders, Steve Mayhew. You're watching the Rogers Sports Event of the Week here on Rogers Cable TV. We're coming to you from Sunset Speedway in Stroud, Ontario. You're watching the 1988 Grand Slam Enduro. And there's been a lot of slamming, and it's been a grand old time. We've got 2 flags up, the checkered and the white flag. Mayhew now will take the checkered flag. 1 lap to go. 1 lap to go.
Okay, 37 still got the lead with 1 lap to go.
One lap to go. Here comes car 37. We're just moments away. Right now, unofficially, car number 37 across takes the checkered flag. But folks, this is only the beginning. We're going to take a short break. Then we'll be back to wrap up what's happened here at Sunset Speedway after that. In the sheets were going furiously. They had to calculate exactly who was the winner here today. With us now is the winner here, but first let's talk to Steve Slaughter, who is hand and glove. One of the reasons why we finally came up with a winner. A little bit of confusion at the end of the race, Steve.
Yeah, there was a lot of confusion at the end of the race. We had Scott here scored not quite as well as his score did, but when we conferred with our own score on the 99 car, it did agree to what Scott's scores had said, which made Scott the winner of the race. So Scott, congratulations.